everybody. Right, let's do that. Welcome everyone. How are we? Welcome. Look at my hair. Right, you're just gonna have to excuse the hair, excuse the mess of me. Right, I feel like I need to get over a little bit. Is that better? Is that better? How are we? There we go. There we go. Welcome everyone to Becoming the Go. This is episode 14, I think. Is it episode 14? It must be. So today we're going to do 10 things leaving taught me about healing. So welcome to Becoming the Go. This is episode 14. 10 things leaving taught me about healing. So I am, if you can't tell, I'm in a really good mood. I'm in a great mood. It's been a weird, obviously, few weeks. The whole ex-husbands, family, all this stuff that's been going on in the background, yeah. And look at me, I'm still here, I'm still smiling. I'm smiling because I know I've got a really stressful week this week, but for some reason, I feel really optimistic about stuff that's coming up and like my future and stuff. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm like, I feel like I don't know where I'm looking properly. Like I should be looking on the camera. Oh, yeah, we're looking proper. Anyway, so yeah, welcome though, guys. We're here, we're still doing the do, yeah. If you are going through it, come join us, babes. Let me just start by saying something, yeah. So I talk about every week, I talk about community, right? And the need for a support network and the need to surround yourself with people that get you, yeah. I'm gonna have to keep fucking sorting this out, there we go. Surround yourself with people that get you and understand you. And particularly, I think if you're coming out of situations where your self-esteem has taken a massive battering, yeah, you need to surround yourself with people that will build you up again. That can be really hard to find, right? And it's not easy. I'm not just saying go down the road and you're automatically gonna find it, because it's not necessarily out there, you know, that easily, right? Or that accessible. But you know, we do have a group. It's called the Goat Collective. It's a lovely little group of there's only a few of us, but it's one of those groups. And one of the things I know, the consensus from people is, oh, what's the biggest issue? And it's, oh, I haven't got support. No one understands me. People don't understand the things I'm going through. And then I'm like, there's an active group here where we understand you and we know what you're going through. So then what we do is we say, come join us. So come join us. And yeah, like, let's connect. The link is in the bio. It's also on my Instagram and my TikTok. Message me, DM me, reach out to me. Like, if you need help, like, that's the if you want a starting point, you know, I stopped doing DMs and then I was like, reach out to me, because it's what we can have a chat. But I'm going to sign. If you want support, the support is to come into the group. So, you know, it's there. But anyway, this is such a mad thing, yeah. So if you'd have told me over a year ago, say 2-3 years ago, that I'd be sat here telling people 10 things that walking away has taught me. So I've walked away from family, I've walked away from friends, and I've walked away from a marriage, right? And all of these things, like leaving, so like abusive, they're all abusive relationships, traumatic relationships, some relationships, not all. And I would never say, like, even with, I'm very cautious about using the word narcissist. I say, because the word narcissist gets thrown around very easily, in my opinion. Like, even with my ex-husband was quite abusive, but I still wouldn't call him a narcissist. My mum would call him a narcissist. So it's not like I'm like, oh, you know, don't use that word because there's not narcissists around. There are, but I'm very particular with who I choose to call narcissist, because I feel like we just tend to ban that word around. But like I say, I have left many relationships, long-standing, the relationship, the family I was born into, I don't speak to them anymore. And all of those decisions that I did, that I made, like walking away and starting over again, are like the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my whole entire life. And then what's happened is, and even right here, right now, as you can see, I'm rebuilding again. And I come on tonight and I was like, I feel great. Because what you need to understand about it is that externally, from the outside, an outside perspective, you can see me. So we use me as prime example. Me with no children, like living, single woman, living on her own, in a new place, like in a place that's temporary, that's not even mine. You know, all of this stuff outside can be quite lonely and isolating. And I've just walked away from all these people around me. And you look at me and you think, gosh, fucking hell. Oh, okay. You know, and sometimes you know, I could stay stuck in those relationships just to keep the pretense of like social acceptability, you know, house, marriage, all that kind of stuff, you know, family. And what I've done is I've completely cut it all to start again and rebuild. Like even now, like I say, I'm in a new place and you think, oh, fuck it, oh, look at their new place. And you're like, and for me, I'm like, oh, guys, I feel amazing tonight. And you probably think, well, the two don't match up. I feel amazing because I feel at peace. You know, I'm still going through some stuff. And this is the bit we've got to get our heads around, yeah? I can still go through things and still feel, come on and say I feel amazing, right? I can still come on and have panic attacks a lot. Sometimes even daily, right? But I can still say that I feel fucking fantastic, right? Two things, and I say this all the time, the two things can coexist together, right? Because what I'm talking about, yeah, I'm having a shit time and I have a lot of panic attacks and life is difficult and hard and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But also on the other side of that, right, is I'm at peace. I don't have people around me that I don't want in my life. My life looks a lot more calmer today, even though physically I have physical symptoms from previous trauma and stress that have just been coming out of my body, right? But other than that, my life feels better. My life is better, and also, I am now in a position where I have the ability to live the life that I have always dreamed of, regardless of what anybody says, because I don't listen to people's opinions of how I should live my life. I don't do that, yeah? And there are so many lessons that I've learned along the way. So we're going to go through, and it's going to be let's just do a teaching YouTube today. So lesson number 1, peace feels unfamiliar at first. So remember I was talking about this peace, right? Because I've had this many times. So when I first, we'll go back 12 odd years ago, when I first got into recovery, yeah, I got into recovery and I remember I came from like a chaotic using background, you know, taking cocaine, drinking alcoholically, you know, I'm an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, I don't drink anymore, and all that kind of stuff, yeah. And basically what had happened is when I got into sobriety, I remember saying to my sponsor at the time that my life felt boring. And what it is it's not, it can be seen as boring. It's actually calm. And when you're familiar with chaos, when you get calm, it's like, oh, this is really boring. Like my nervous system was so used to the up and down, like it's intense and then it's not, it's intense and then it's not, it's intense and then it's not. And all of that constant, you know, chaos is actually, my body can't, when it's calm, my body thinks there's something wrong and my brain is like, I'm bored, I'm seriously bored, what do I do? And what was happening is I'm waiting for something to go wrong, you know, like I'm seriously waiting for something bad to happen. So actually, when you get rid of all that toxic stuff and all the toxic relationships, what seems to happen is life gets calmer. Don't mistake that for boredom. Yeah, you know what it really is? It's peace. Right, we've got a little change up. You know why? It was really irritating me, yeah? Because it was on the bed, so this bed, and it's like the camera angle. So for those who have stuck by, thank you so much. The camera angle's bad, but it was like, it felt like it was a bit jolty, but I didn't want to change. I was in the middle of saying stuff, so then I was like, so we're changing the angle, so we're gonna have to keep going, yeah? Listen, I like it like this though. It's not fucking off the cuff. You know what it is about this? You know what I like about my YouTube? It's not even fucking polished. It's so unpolished, yeah? It's the most unpolished YouTube I think you could fucking... Well, one day, yeah, it's going to be very editorial, maybe. I'm going to get a fucking... an editor, basically. When I've got enough money, I'm going to have an editor and I'm going to have, you know, people to help me. But I don't have that at the minute. It's all me, myself and I don't, you know, I don't need anybody else to do it. But I like the unpolishedness of it because it's representative of me. This unpolished version of YouTube, me coming on and just chatty Cathy, we call it. Well, that's what I call it. Me coming on as chatty Cathy, just coming on as myself, yeah? Like, I love it. This is who I am. There's no airs, no graces. It's just who I am, yeah? So because I want people to know that I'm just a regular person, innit? Like, I'm fucking... This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I talk about. All this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm on a healing journey, but I always want it to be really fucking tangible. I want to be as tangible at fucking 1 follower as I am at fucking 100,000 followers. You know, like that stuff, because it's like I'm just an ordinary person. Even if my followers fucking numbers go up, it doesn't matter, because you'll know it's like the numbers are just the numbers. But you'll think, oh, that's Nick. You know, I always try and position myself as like, you know, I'm for my lived experience, but also I am your girl best friend, your fucking sister. You know, like you come on and you, oh, you're all right. You know, like just right to the, like, I want everyone to feel like they can connect with me. So anyway, we're back to lesson number 2. Lesson number 2, right? You can love someone and still need to leave. You know what happens? Walking away, we sometimes think that walking away means that you stop caring. It does not mean that you stop caring, right? But what it does mean, I say this to people time and time again, yeah? When you decide to walk away from someone who is destroying you or is toxic or they're causing you a lot of issues, your self-esteem is on the floor, it's one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, yeah? When you're loving someone and you can still leave, right? Because what you're finally doing in those relationships is you are finally putting yourself first. And I can categorically guarantee that for the first time in your entire life, it may have been one of the first times where you've ever put yourself first, where you've not put yourself on the back burner, done for everybody else. Oh, this person, oh, that person, oh, let me just do this, oh, let me make sure everyone else is taken care of, oh, let me take care of you, let me take care of this, let me take care of this, that, and the third, oh, let me do this, let me, oh, do. And it's like, and then you know what happens, especially when you're in toxic relationships, and this can be men, women, it can be anyone, yeah, we don't discriminate, it's, you know, there's toxic relationships all around, right? And then what happens is we don't put ourselves first. So when you decide that I can't do this anymore, right? You may still love that person. It doesn't mean you stop caring. You're not fucking, it doesn't matter. But what is the most powerful thing about it is the fact that you are finally choosing your own well-being. You finally had enough to say, you know what? No matter how much I love you, I love myself more. Because that's what it is. I love myself more. I put myself before you. You know why? Because I have to. I can't sacrifice myself anymore. I can't do it. I recently had it with a few people, actually. I was going to say some examples, but I've had it with a few people, and it's like, I can't sacrifice myself anymore. I'm going to choose myself and put myself first, no matter how much I love you, yeah? You know, I love you, but I can't do this. And obviously I don't say all that stuff to people. Oh, I love you and I can't do this. I need to put myself first. You don't actually say that, innit? What happens is that happens through the action of you going no contact, or putting boundaries in, or removing this person from your life and putting yourself first. That's the action. So it was all well and good me saying, oh, I'm putting myself first and all of this kind of stuff. Like sometimes I come in here and say things can be very wordy, right? Yeah, it's wordy because you're like, oh, me putting myself first, and the action is you fucking choosing to go no contact, cutting people out of your life, putting boundaries in, not speaking to people that treat you badly, and deciding not to have people that cause you shit and grief and trauma in your life, and you think, no, I'm not doing this anymore. That's putting yourself first. Lesson 2. So now we're going to move on to lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is a good one. It's juicy. Excuse my hair, by the way. Look at it. Lesson number 3. Healing is lonelier than I expected. It's fucking lonely. I ain't going to lie. And she says it with a smile on her face. You know what it is? I am at peace. But I had a situation this week where I had to get a new doctor's, yeah? And on the doctor form, it says about an emergency contact. Now, I don't have an emergency contact anymore. I don't have one. Like, I literally don't have one. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic. Like, I could probably put a friend down if I really thought about it. But I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I could actually. Maybe I'm being dramatic. But, you know, like, no, we're not going to say that, actually. You know, like your emergency contact, though. You know, like, if you don't resonate with this, say you might be watching me, but you still have a relationship with your parents in it. You might be watching me for whatever reason why you watch me, yeah? And you're like, okay, cool. And it's like, oh, that's your emergency, you know, like you've got your mum as your emergency contact, or your sibling, and you know, someone close, like immediate family. I don't have that. And I was like, there's always a little bit of like, and I think it's because of those, like, I suppose, yeah, your emergency contacts of like the normal ones, like family member, right? It's going to be your mum, your dad, maybe your siblings, or maybe your husband, your wife, you know, like the core network of people in your life, right? And I'm like, fucking hell, I don't have that core network. And you know what it does? It's like you don't get prepared for those quiet moments that remind you that you've lost your support system. Like my whole internal core network of people, you know, I have my chosen family. Yeah, I do. I have a chosen family. People that are in my life today that are closer to me than my family have ever been, right? That I love dearly. They understand me and they get me. But it's never not gonna hit the fact that I don't have an intern like that support system, that support network, like that still can cut. So when I go to an emergency contact, I'm like, fucking hell, I ain't got that support system. And it's like that, it's almost like a gut punch that you get. It's okay. We can, and you know, again, like I say, some of these things aren't like, you know, oh, amazing, peace, wonderful. It's lonely, isn't it? Healing is a lonely journey. It is lonelier than I had expected. I'll feel sometimes on my own. Hence why I come online, I share online. I was going live. I've created a group where I talk to people about the stuff because I feel lonely. And I know a lot of other people do. When I talk to people, when I get messages, the first thing people will say to me is, help me, I feel really lonely. Oh, and you finally get it. It's lonelier than I expected, but okay, so it's lonely. Still doesn't mean I've not got peace. So yeah. Number 4. You don't need everyone's understanding, right? So I say to people, so on my, let's go right back to estrangement. Let's use this as an example, estrangement. So I do not explain myself to people who do not understand me. So when I talk about being estranged from my family, I will never ever explain to someone else who doesn't understand that why I made the choices I make. So sometimes I will do like clouty videos where I will respond to someone who doesn't really understand because I'm trying to show people in the community, you know, just the reasoning, we don't need to do this, or it's just not highlight, I suppose, what people typically say to us, yeah. But also it's like, you know, don't worry about that, and giving you the messages of what to say or what not to say. But overall, I don't justify myself to anyone. I have spent so many years trying to rationalize and explain myself, my decisions, who I am, why I think the way I think, why I do the things I do. I was scapegoated and I had to rationalize everything all day, every single day, to every single person around me. So now, you know what? I don't do that anymore. I am not explaining myself to you. I'm not explaining my decisions, the decisions that you don't understand. Because what happens is we get into a pattern of over explaining, explain, and actually we don't need to do that. Like, because what I need to do when I learn this lesson, so this lesson about you don't need everyone's understanding, yeah, is particularly because what we need to start doing is we need to start trusting our own instinct, our own internal instinct, our own gut instinct of the decisions we make and why we've made these decisions and why we do the things we do, yeah. I do that because I've decided to make this decision because of not because of not because of your list, because of my list of reasoning, right? And the more we do that, the more we get comfortable with making choices that sit well for us, regardless of what anybody else thinks. I don't look for permission to live my life anymore, yeah? I'm not looking for your permission to do what I need to do. Your permission isn't needed, because if I'm looking for your permission, I'm stuck in an old pattern where I'm waiting for someone to tell me how I can live my life. The reason why I went astray, the reason why I cut all these people out, the reason why I'm giving you the 10 lessons, yeah, is because I needed to start to learn how to live my own life, yeah? So I learned all these lessons, but then if I'm still looking for permission, I'm stuck in an old pattern. So why don't I just stay in these relationships? It doesn't make sense. So no, we don't do that anymore. We do not explain ourselves to other people. We don't explain our choices to people who are committed to misunderstanding us. No. So, number 5. Small wins matter. Now, this is really important, yeah? I said to someone the other day about goals. I said, do you set goals? And they said, no, not really. And I said, okay, we need to set goals. Because you know why we need to set goals? Because we need to start getting into a mindset where we are achieving, where we are doing well, where we are ticking off our list, where we are succeeding, where we have got a goals list of things and we are ticking them off one by one by one by one, and then it starts to spiral and we start to get quicker and it starts to amp up. And you know, like little things, I want to join the gym. This year I said I was going to join the gym because my anxiety picked up terribly. I joined the gym, I started going to the gym, and now I go to the gym, you know, like that. Like I said I was going to do something, I then did it, and now it's ticked off my list, and now I continue to do it. That's it. That's a small win. Going to the gym, right? The other one, I was gonna create a community. It's been taking me a while, and then I was like, right, I'm gonna do this, and I want to do this. Now I don't know how I'm gonna do it successfully, and I'm still in the process of doing it. But I wanted to do this. I've done it so far. This is what I wanted to do. Is what I've done. Tick. You know, like little things. When I had the nervous breakdown, we always go back to this. This was goal number one. Make my bed every day. Bang. I wanted to make my bed every day. I did that. Bang. Tick. You know, like these little things. I post every single day. I'm doing my YouTube video at quarter to 12 at night. I didn't want to do the video today. I will do it no matter what, regardless. You know, like these little things. Now, me saying I'm going to make my bed every day, like if you, I was going to say that back, by the way, me making my bed every day is the reason why I'm sat here today. Now, I'm telling you that categorically. I'm not just fucking saying it for no reason. And I don't say it for effect yet, where I'm like, oh, I make my bed every day. Oh my God. You know, you probably think, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I told you, and I say this story pretty near on every week, yeah? You know why I made my bed every day? Because I needed to stop fucking laying in my fucking bed because I was so fucked, yeah, from my breakdown. So the only way I could do that was to try and get my brain to focus on something else. The bed, making the bed. Now I'm not allowed to get back into that bed, and I just have to go downstairs. And it was the starting point of me getting into a routine again. I made my bed every day. That small win that put me on the trajectory to start to change my life again, start to rebuild my life, get back into a routine. Then all of a sudden I'm going outside the house. Then all of a sudden I'm doing this. Then all of a sudden it spirals. Now I'm talking about small wins matter. We're on to lesson 5. The little things. Do you set yourself goals? No. Why not? Why are we not setting ourselves goals? Why are we not doing goal setting? Why are we not doing 5 little things that you want to do? 5 little things that you want to achieve this week. So I need to send 2 really important emails this week. I need to change my post. I need to redirect my post. I need to sort some storage stuff out. I need to, what else do I need to do? I need to do some food shopping as well. I haven't been food shopping properly for a while, and I need to do a big shop and all that kind of stuff. 5 things, bang. They're little goals though, innit? They're little things that are obtainable that I can do this week. Emails, fucking storage, fucking food shopping. You think, oh, food shopping? You know why I said food shopping? Because I've been eating loads of takeaways. Simple, innit? That's why. I've been eating shit and I haven't got loads of stuff in. So I need to go do a food shop, do a proper food shop, buy all my fruits and my vegetables and start eating properly. It's on my goals list. Bang. The small wins matter. Set yourself goals, please. Right. Lesson number 6. Healing isn't linear. You know what it is? Some days I feel on top of the world. I feel strong. I'm on fire. I'm fucking going for it and I feel incredible. Other days I feel overwhelmed and I have panic attacks, I have anxiety, cannot cope, want to shut off from the world, have nothing to give, have nothing to offer, I don't think. Imposter syndrome, all of this stuff. Oh, you're a fraud. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Who are you kidding? What are you trying to prove? I don't know what you're doing. Stop doing it right now, yeah? Some days I feel strong, other days I don't feel so strong. Both can coexist at the same time. Up, down, up, down, up, down. You know that just because one day you're feeling down and then when you're up again, you've got to remember that. The change. Because life is about balance, yeah? Some days we feel on top of the world, other days we feel like shit. They're both important. They're both important. Because when we feel like shit, and then we remember when we were on top of the world, we remember, oh yeah, I remember when I was feeling like that. And then when we feel like shit, you remember the times when you were feeling on top of the world and you can get back to that. You know, like there's a balance. There's a balance in life. We don't just write everything off when we're having a bad day. And you write like it's like me being in recovery. I have one bad day and then I start drinking again or taking drugs. And my life, what happens? I was having one bad day. And I've done that before, previously. You know, before I got clean, you know, I would have a bad day. I would be using And then I'd get clean for a little while, and then I'd have a bad day and I would use. And then I would feel better after. Like, I don't know, I'd feel like I don't know, I'd use, and then everything would come crashing down. And then when I looked at it clearly, I was like, it was one bad, a few things were happening, but that one bad day I made a fucking big decision. No, fuck it all off. Fuck it all off for that one bad day when I had many good days. Healing isn't linear. It's up and down, yeah? Number 7. Your people might not be who you expected. So let me tell you, let's just talk about this. The people that I didn't expect are you guys, my community, our community. It's not my community, it's our community, us. I fucking never knew, and I had this thing, let me just share this quickly before we go on to the last 3 teachings. But like your people. So obviously I don't have a lot of people in it in my life, like I say in real life, like, God knew that I was going to cut my family out, and my ex-husband, and my ex-in-laws, and all my friends. I've got loads of friends that I did have that were all toxic, and or they weren't suitable anymore, they had to go, and then what I realized is God was like, okay, that's fine, don't worry about that, because you're going to hold space, you're going to have all this space, right? All this space that you've got to come on here and do this, because you've now got thousands of people, and now some of them, not everyone I speak to, because it's a lot of people, but some people I speak to and I just adore them. And I haven't been live in a while, and I miss all my friends on live, my community, our community, that we talk and we laugh and we get together, and it's amazing. And I go to bed at times feeling so happy when I've just been like, I feel like I've been online on FaceTime with my friends for ages, and I can forget about what's going on in the world for me, and I can just laugh and just have a good time and all of that stuff. And God was like, don't worry about your non-existent family anymore, your non-existent marriage, your non-existent friends. Don't worry about all of them. You know why? Because I've got something bigger for you. I've got these people that are going to come in, and you're going to start to speak and bond and build relationships, and I weren't expecting it. Like this community of people that I weren't expecting. And the reason why, and you probably think, well, okay, well, and why I say it's not my community, it's our community, is because you can access this as well. Like, your people might not be who you expected. Like when you're going through all the toxic stuff, and then you don't know who you've got around you, and you got people like friends who you've had for a long time who might not get it, yeah? So then what you do is you come into the community, and you've got people here who we may not have been through like for like situations, but we can definitely understand the pain and the emotional turmoil that it takes, and the loneliness and the isolation. I'm talking about all these teachings here, yeah, that you probably sit and you think, yeah, I really, really get that, right? And you come into the group and someone says something and you think, fucking hell, yeah, me too. Let's just have it, let's keep the language, to the point. Yeah, me fucking too. That identification that you get, and it was from people you probably think, oh, I never would have expected this from this group of people, but they're people that get you, and through that identification we bond, and you don't feel like you're on your own. So remember that it might not be the people who you always think it's going to be, who may be your closest people in your life. It may actually be someone completely unexpected out of your inner circle that you end up meeting, and it could be life-changing. Stay open to it. Lesson number 8, you become stronger than you realize. In life, let me give you the last few weeks, there are moments when I genuinely did not know how I was going to get through what I was going through. I fucking have no idea. On the floor crying, and I just being in prayer and stuff, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to cope. I cannot do this anymore. And then you know what I did? I fucking did it. Like, let's just keep this right to the point, the rest of this to the point. I fucking did it. I don't know how I got through, but I did it. And every time, you don't give up, because I said this as well the other day, you don't get to give up you don't have a choice. So when you think, oh, fucking cannot keep going and I don't know what to do, you don't fucking have a choice but to keep going. And you know through that you don't have a choice. You know what happens to you. And you may think, oh, well, I don't want to be strong anymore. You get stronger and it makes you more resilient. You think, oh, I just want to, I don't want to have to go through this. You ain't got a choice. Because every time you show up for yourself and you continue and you get stronger and you continue, it's like renewal of strength and building your resilience, and you keep going and you don't give up and you move forward and you keep showing up and you keep trying and you get to bed, put your head on the pillow and you go again and you go again and you don't know how to cope, and then life gets a bit shit, even worse, but you keep going and you keep going and life then gets better, and all of a sudden you look back in hindsight and you think, I fucking did that. I did not give up. And then you know what you realize? You become stronger than you've actually realized. You've gained all of this strength within all of these periods where you've just kept going, showed up for yourself, persevered, pushed forward, all of a sudden. And it's not like you think, oh, I'm strong, I'm stronger. You don't think that. All of a sudden you look back and you're like, I'm strong. I can do absolutely anything. Number 9, hope is a decision. Number 9, hope is a decision, right? There were days when I could not see my future clearly, including today. You know what? I come on here earlier, did I, at the start, and I was like, oh, I feel great. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know where I'm at. Fucking hell. I could tell you some stories. I'm just not even going into it because I'll just digress too much, yeah? I have no idea what's happening with me. Where the life I thought was teetering along, and then it's just changed a little bit, and now fucking there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's okay, because you know what I have this untold faith that everything's gonna be all right. I've always had faith for the last, let's say the last 12 years, because my experience and your experience, even before that, I'm 38. And you know, like that saying, you survived 100% of your bad days. Now I survived 100% of my bad days. I'm still here, I'm still showing up, I'm still surviving. So it's like, I know that things get better. I have data that shows me things get better. The more I keep continuing with life, yeah, the more data I gather. It's like data gathering, in it, like life. You show up and you keep persevering and you keep trying, and then, and it's like, oh, actually, yeah, I can do this. Oh yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, this keeps me going. Oh, I've done that. Oh, I've done that. And you look back, and when times are tough and you don't know which way to turn, I draw back on those past experiences and I think, yeah, you know what? Yeah, things do get better. I know. I don't know when they're going to get better. I don't know when it's going to, what does better look like? I don't know. What's it look like? When do I feel at peace? What's going to happen? But I do know that the more I continue on putting one foot in front of the other, just with this unwavering faith that things are going to be all right, things will get better. I kept choosing. Remember, hope is a decision. I can make a choice to stay in faith or not, to keep moving forward. Because you know what it is as well, again, wordy, making a choice to move forward, putting one foot in front of the other, keep taking actionable steps to make yourself better in the healing process, cut off people around you, go to therapy, self-care, mental wellness, all this stuff that we need to do for ourselves, yeah, that we continue to do to make the choices to get better, to move our lives forward, yeah, that's what we do. And the reason why you must have hope, because if you're listening to this right now and you think, well, I don't have hope, I've got no hope that my life's going to then get better. Why the fuck are you watching this? You're watching this because you have a little bit of hope in the back of your mind that you're going to listen to something and it's going to fucking propel you into something where you think you can do it as well, even though you are already doing it by listening to this and starting to fucking make active choices. You need to start reframing your mind and start looking at the active things that you are doing. Hope is a decision. You start thinking, because I know what people do, yeah, they come on and they're like, well, I don't have any hope. I don't have any, life's so tough. I get it all the time in messages, life's so tough. And I think, well, you fucking do have hope. If you didn't have hope, you wouldn't even be fucking messaging me, because what you're hoping for is for life to get better. Hope is a decision. We need to start fucking actively taking the decision though and using it and putting action in. Hope is a fucking decision. You do have hope that it's going to get better. Otherwise you won't be reaching out to anyone. You won't be saying anything to anyone. He'd be sat there. But also what we then need to do is put the action in. We need to keep choosing to believe life is going to get better. We also choose to believe that life is going to get better through the choices that we make to improve our lives. Yeah, we don't stay stuck. We don't wallow. You're allowed to be sad, yeah? You're allowed to be sad. Like, I'm sad at the minute. I'm allowed to be fucking sad. You know why I ain't stopped doing? Moving fucking forward. You know why? Because I know that my life is going to get better. But if I don't move fucking forward, then my life isn't going to get better. So I also have a choice in that. I have hope that life is going to get better. But I need to actually take some actionable steps in order to move it that way forward. Yeah? So hope is a decision. Remember that. Let's choose hope. Life gets better. Your life is going to get better. And then lesson number 10. Walking away wasn't the end. Lesson number 10. Walking away was not the end. It was just the beginning of the person I was becoming, right? So let me say that again. Actually, let me start all of that all over again. I'd written it down and I was like, I said something else. Anyway, told you, unpolished. We don't fucking, I always like, you know what, the more unpolished it is, I think the better. Because I'm not perfect in it. I just come on and just spout some stuff. But you know what, I'm myself. And that's, you know, I hope people gravitate towards me. But yeah, I'm just myself. Anyway, walking away wasn't the end. It was the beginning of becoming the person I'd always wanted to be. This new version of myself. And I'm still not the version that I want to be today. Like, I'm always growing. But walking away was just the beginning. Walking away was me doing those steps of saying, you know what, I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be a codependent people pleaser. No, I really fucking don't. Nah, codependent people pleaser's got to go. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Fuck off with that codependent people pleaser shit. Fuck off. Can't be doing this no more. It's too much. Go away. Yeah, I'm sick of fucking, you know what, being a codependent people pleaser got me fucking nothing. You know, it got me fucking nothing. It got people taking advantage of me, and it got me in loads of shit. Depressed, fucked, people fucking stealing from me and all this shit. Miserable, because I was a codependent, saying yes to everything, saying yes to all these people. And you know what happened? I was fucked. So you know what I don't do? I'm like, I don't want to be that person no more. I'm fucking sick of this. I'm sick of this shit. This fucking riddled, fucking drug, alcoholic, riddled, codependent people pleaser who says yes to everyone and everything all the time to keep the peace and just fucking like abandon herself is so fucking boring. And you know what happened when I done all of that shit? Because I thought people were gonna like me. They didn't like me, babes. They didn't like me. It just doesn't make people like you. You know what it does? It makes them resent you even more, and it makes you abandon yourself, and then you're miserable and depressed and you're fucked on fucking antidepressants. You know that? That's what happens. That's the truth. So no, when I walked away, what I did is I decided that I wanted to be a new person and I was going to become a new person. Walking away was never the end. It was the beginning. It was the beginning of me becoming the person that I always wanted to be, the person I always knew I could be, the person that I'm still growing into today. Yeah. But you know what I'm not doing anymore? I'm not doing any of that fucking shit back there. You know, and I still step up. I'm not perfect, but I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this to please you. Fuck off out of my life, yeah? That's the decision I've made. I walked away because I was like, fuck off out of my life, each and every single one of you, because all you're doing is dragging me down and making me more depressed. And I fucking hate myself. You hate me and I hate myself. That's what it did. You hate me. All these people that I'm trying to please and get validation from fucking hate me. And then I was abandoning myself, and then I hate myself. So now, no, I don't hate myself. I don't hate myself. I don't. I may hate some people. Yeah, I may hate some people. But that's better than me hating myself and abandoning myself and being depressed. I'd rather cut people off, dislike them, stay over there, and then what I do is I start to achieve peace. I start to learn all these lessons that I'm telling you about here. Yeah, all these lessons, all these lessons that I've learned, all these lessons where I'm building on myself, all these lessons where my life gets better, yeah? You know, like if you're watching this and you think, oh, fucking hell, well, it's all right for you and I can't do this. Stop making excuses. We've got to stop doing that. You do not have to have everything figured out. You really don't. And you don't even need to know where you're going, right? But what you do need to do is, one, you're not allowed to give up. We are not allowed to give up. You don't have a choice but to keep going, right? Because life is going to get better on the other side. But you'll never make it to the other side if you give up. So it just doesn't work. You have oh, I don't want to be strong anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm so fucking upset because life is so hard. Babes, we know life is hard. Listen, my life is hard too. Yeah, okay. I haven't got a choice. I've got to keep going. Yeah, you haven't got a choice. You just got to fucking suck it up. Sometimes it's like, I feel like sometimes you need a little bit of a truth bomb. Suck it up. You got to get on with it. Like me, I would be like, sometimes I cry. I go online, I cry, and I think, fucking hell. But like I watch some, and sometimes I watch it back, and I think, okay, Nick, get a grip. Come on, you got to get on with it now. Enough crying. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to have a bit of tears. Yeah, you're allowed to feel a bit sorry for yourself and have a little bit of a cry. Yeah, you're not allowed to stay there though. You're not allowed to stay there. You cry and then you suck it up and you get fucking back on with it, because you are sacrificing your life for everybody else, your happiness for everybody else, your peace for everybody else. And what happens is, like I say, I lived a life as a chronic, codependent people pleaser, seeking validation from others, turned to drugs and alcohol, hated myself, didn't know who I was, so desperate for people to like me who actually hated me. And then all it did is it allowed me to then hate myself. Yeah, I'm miserable. Who am I living for? I'm living for everybody else and not myself. Okay, cool. So now what? Now what happens? We live a life for everybody else, for people that just actively don't even like you anyway. And now what? Oh, and you're fucked, and now you're miserable. Oh, and now you're even more depressed. Oh, and you feel really anxious. Oh, yeah. Oh, and now you get panic attacks. Oh, yeah, it makes sense, because you're fucking stressing yourself out, because you're running around for this, that, and the other person, the people that don't even care about you. Could be in your own family even, or the person you're married to, or your fucking friends who are in your inner circle who come around your house, all this kind of stuff. And you're miserable and you're not achieving anything. Oh, we were doing goals. No, I'm not doing no goals. Why not? Oh, well, I don't know. Oh, excuse. And all of a sudden, life's miserable. And all of a sudden, what are we in? August. It's going to be December. No, how's it getting on? Oh, it's been a shit year. 2026 has been the worst year of my life. Well, what have you done to change it, babes? We've done much. Oh, all that stuff. We've got to stop doing that. We're going to start getting a little bit. I think Nick, this is how I used to be when I was sponsored. I was a really tough sponsor, because I was sick of fucking listening to shit. Now, you may think that's really harsh, yeah? But listen, if you're going to come to me with the same thing time and time again, yeah, eventually I'm enabling you in the behaviour, because we're just going round and round in circles. I'm enabling you in the behaviour, right? And eventually you got to get a bit of a cut off where someone says, listen, babe, so you fuck off. This is not right. You got to stop, or don't come to me no more, innit? And then you start, like this jolt, you've got to have a fucking truth jolt. And I think I'm going to start doing truth jolts a bit more, because it's actually, this is how I talk. How I'm talking here is how I talk to myself. And sometimes we need kindness and loving and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes we need to tell ourselves to get a grip. Come on. I've got 10 lessons that I just told you about that I've learned here through the healing journey. It's lonely, I'm isolated and stuff like that. But also what I need to do to combat all of that kind of stuff, to be able to move forward and be able to live a better life today. Yeah? I'm not saying it as a person. Remember this, yeah? Because I fucking, you know what it is as well? I get loads of data. Remember I talk about data, right? Data is people, right? I've got loads of people who message me. And I have loads of people who message me the same stuff. And I say, well, do this, this, and this. Or come and join us and do this, this, and this. And I always get an excuse or something, the reason why they can't. But yet they want to stop and talk about all the stuff and the problems that they've got going on. Okay, so what about these solutions that I have actively done? So this group, of course, is my group. But what about the stuff? I'm not saying join my group. No, that's not what I'm saying. You can. It's there. It's available. What I'm saying is, okay, well, why don't we do any of these options, not just this one? There's multiple options, things that I've done, yeah, to try and get better in life and try and do some stuff so our life gets better. Oh yeah, but and then we're never going to change. So that's what it is. And I'm saying that within the most caring way that I possibly can, because I know for a fact life gets better when you put the work in. Life gets so much better. And like I say, I try not to be very wordy, because you'll think, oh, well, what does that mean? It's about action. It's about putting the action in. Your life changes when you start putting the action in to change. Yeah. Anyway, that was episode 14. Becoming the GOAT. Oh my God, 14 weeks. My life has changed a lot. Maybe we should do a summary episode of like life over the last 14 weeks. No, we need to do we can't do that yet. We need to do like episode 50 or something, because like episode fucking 14 is nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's like fucking, what's that, 3 months? It's just over 3.5 months, nothing. Anyway, welcome guys to the journey of becoming the GOAT, yeah? I believe you can all do it. I'm still on the journey to becoming the GOAT. Come join me. We'll do it together. All right, thank you for being here, and thank you for all the support. And if you don't subscribe to the channel. And if not, yeah, please subscribe. And if not, please subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all next week. Love ya.